What a season it has been. It's finally over for all Baggies supporters. Welcome back to the final episode of Where Baggies Walk, episode 39. This week we're talking about the manager situation. Ryan Mason is now the new hot favourite. What do we think to that? Heggum as captain. Gets a question mark over that. We'll get these guys' view on that. Kyle Bartley may still be on his way out, we hear. We'll get the team's reaction to those rumours and our wishes, of course, for next season. We've got Dan and Ben and Dean back with us for this final torture that I put them through every single week of having to talk about the Baggies. Before we start, guys, I've got to pass on so many teams' thanks and well wishes to West Brom over the past couple of days. Here's just a sample of them. Derby fans, I love West Brom. Always chuck us 3 points and help to secure safety today. That's Viva la Baggies. Hull fan here, I for one will show my appreciation to West Brom for their efforts today by eating more chicken tikka at the Vine next season. Can't say fairer than that. And we've spoken to our Hull fans, our Stoke fans, our Derby fans, and our Preston fans will follow. I'm sure they'll all be thanking the Baggies. So, yeah, you massively helped some teams out there, Dan, that you particularly don't like.
Well, you got to help out when it's needed, but I'll just hope all the teams can help us out in the future. I doubt it very much because we always have things in our hands and then we always just throw it away anyway.
We don't help ourselves, do we?
No, we don't really know.
But yeah, the fact you've just relegated, we relegated Cardiff 2 weeks ago, as we spoke. Now you've relegated Luton, Luton as well, and the fact you went 4-1 up. I mean, I don't know if you saw the scenes at Derby and Derby versus Stoke when that third Baggies goal went in. It was like they scored it themselves. So, wild scenes that you guys have been causing over the weekend. Let's focus on your aspect of it. Dean, did you see that coming, that performance?
No, not really. It's too little too late, wasn't it, really? I was disappointed with Luton. I thought, seeing as they turned into an Albion, to be honest, they got a fight on their hands and they didn't show up at all.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. The fans were up for it, but players
favourite goal of the 5, Ben?
Probably DK, just for the sheer,
just for the sheer,
he deserved it. I think that was the biggest cheer of the day from our point of view, anyway.
We've got to talk about this fella. I know we were bored of talking about him, but Dan, impressive again. Tony says, "What a player this young lad is." My man of the match against Luton. Youth is next season is what we need going forward, with 1 or 2 older heads for experience and a young up-and-coming manager who has something to prove. We have half a dozen excellent young players in this group. DW says build next season's teams around him. Would you agree, Dan?
Slightly, yeah. I mean, if he's going to be playing in like the number 10 role, he's sort of proving his worth at the minute. Just more or less, most of our attacks now come through him. He's got the confidence to run with the ball. He can pick a pass. So yeah, why not? Why not try and build the team around him? But yeah, okay. Yeah, he's still young. He's still got a lot to learn, but he's just been brimming with confidence at the minute.
Yeah, joint top of the assists league. Dean was Tom Fellows, of course. What price tag would you slap on him, just in case someone is interested in giving you a ring?
This is what worries me. I wouldn't go below 12 million. But,
oh wow, really?
I know, but I can see us selling him for 5 or 6. I just can see it happening, and I hope not, because that's where all our goals come from. He either scores them or sets them up.
Well, yeah, if you take his assists and goals out, where would you be? I mean, Ben, would you sell him for 10 million?
10 to 15, I think. Yeah, I mean, the numbers are good, but it's a hard one, really. I've always kind of looked at him and thought, what has he done? His numbers look good, but I think if you take him out, he's not the sort of player who's going to win you the game on his own. He's chipped in with his crosses, but it's quite predictable. But I think if you're going to sell him, you've got to look at 10 to 15. I think at least, that English tax and all that. I do think he'll go. To be honest, I think there'll be a couple of clubs looking at him. if you get 50 million for him, I think you take it, to be honest.
Where's his level at though, Ben? In terms of, would you see him bottom end of the?
That's the thing, yeah.
Premier League in
I'm looking at
like a Leeds team,
yeah,
or,
but I'm not sure if he gets in ahead. Who he gets in ahead of there? Like, he doesn't get ahead of Ginotto, does he? Or the teams that have come down, I can't see them putting the money up for him. The teams in the Premier League already have already got wells of talent out there. So it's a tricky one, really. Does he do another year with us and really excel himself? Hopefully, get us into the Premier League and kick on from there. So there'll be some interesting conversations, I think, and we'll see what happens. But 15 million, I think, for the purpose of reinvestment, I think you look at taking that potentially.
Right. Okay. Let's talk about managers then, as I'm sure you'll be doing a lot of checking your phones and checking details over the summer. Dan, now we understand nothing's happening at the moment because the favoured candidate wants to see out the rest of the season with Tottenham and their European journey that they're currently on, and that being Ryan Mason. We're led to believe that Marty Cifuentes is now not being considered. I don't know if you've heard anything more on that, but it's just, for me, it's a strange one. This one. What's your take on it?
To be honest, I'm a bit unsure about Ryan Mason. He's took charge of Tottenham a couple of times now, and he hasn't really excelled with them, with the players that he's got. I don't know whether that's just down to the experience that he hasn't got, or he's just not that great.
Dino, what's your take on it?
Not much, really. It wouldn't be my choice. Don't know much about him. No, I don't know. No, I don't know where that's come from. To be honest, I think they're interviewing lots of people or talking to lots of people. So nothing definite yet.
It's from westbromnews.com. There you go. There's one.
Oh well, that's
it's that page on Facebook. Honestly,
that's just clickbait.
Okay, we'll move on from that one. Let's talk about Heggum then as captain. Now, this of course will require, your current captain being sidelined, moved on, or dropped the captaincy. But Tony says, I'd love to see, he calls him Heggman here, Heggum as captain. He leads by example, 100% of the game. That's why he was player of the season. Dean, you were at that player of the season awards.
Yeah.
Do you think he would... Firstly, he's definitely captain material, but should he be the captain for the next season?
Don't know. He's a great player, and he's our player of the season. Anybody but Bartley, to be honest. And I don't know where you got that from about Bartley could be on the move. Where have you had that from? I wish you.
I've got another one here. There we go. Yeah, there we are. That's another one from West Brom News.
Yeah, well, it's rubbish. He's triggered a new contract for another season, isn't he? But he's a bad egg, and I don't know why people applauded him off the pitch Saturday. I couldn't believe it, to be honest. I know what I did.
Joining the two comments up there, Ben, what should happen with the captaincy?
I don't think Heggum. No, I think he leads by example and things like that. But is he a leader? I'm not sure. And I think Dean's mentioned it before. We need some fresh players in that leadership group, so to speak. We have lacked that for some time. A real character, a real leader who can, be a decent captain. Heggum has probably been our best player. Does lead by example. Does that mean he should be captain? I'm not so sure. I think if you're looking in the market, we do need to look at that kind of player who's got that leadership, who could potentially come in and be captain straight from the off. Because as we said, Bartley and Wallace haven't really done a great deal, and Furlong, all these players haven't really done much this season to show their worth, really. So
the other one we had here, Dan, was Elliot says, if we have a Christmas miracle of DK staying fit next season, and we keep Fellows, MJ, Price, and DK could destroy this league next season if we can find a manager to play to their strengths. I love this early season confidence. Do you get the Posters' point of view there? Do you think you could destroy this league if all that comes to pass?
Look, you look at that talent on paper and you think, why shouldn't we? But football's not played on paper, and we all know what the Albion are like.
We're gonna end this podcast.
He didn't mention Madger there either. Madger's an important player in our team. We'll have him back at the beginning of the season. So he's a big player, but we won't destroy that league.
No, we won't.
I guarantee you that.
But did you look at it, Dan? If you look at the teams coming down in Southampton, who've been woeful, of course, Leicester, who might start on a negative points total, Ipswich might be well placed given that they signed half the Women's Championship season this season, and then you've got the rest of you that are here. Do you see it as an opportunity more so next year to really kind of push on and really have a go at it?
I mean, we'd all love to see us actually just get on with it and put decent shifts in and actually make a go of it. But I mean, it started off so well this season. It started off really well, and then we played Sheffield Wednesday away, and it just killed us, just killed the momentum, killed the confidence, and then it just sort of downwards spiraled from there. But I mean, I said at the start of this season that we're just a mid-table championship side, and I still think that at the end of this season, and it sort of proved my point really when we finished 9th. I mean, it could have been a hell of a lot worse. So yeah, it's, hopefully, but we get rid of all this deadwood, all the bad eggs, all these massive egos. Get rid of all them, start fresh, and then see what the new season brings.
Okay, all right. Before we move on, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone, in particular, who's commented and watched and subscribed to the channel. It's so hard making brand new content. We know there's great West Brom content out there, but we massively thank you. In particular to Lee, who's commented, I think, on every single video since we've started this. So big shout out to Lee. Hope you've enjoyed listening to these guys' ups and downs on the West Brom season. We'll be doing this all again in the last week of July. So put your notifications on now. Press the little bell so it'll let you know when there's been an upload in a couple of months' time. Right, let's round this off then. Ben, you're not in playoffs, so we have to cruelly ask you this next question. Who would you like to see win out of those four?
It's quite easy to say like someone different, but from a West Brom's point of view, I think you'd rather get rid of Sheffield United. I think they're going to be strong again next year if they don't go up. So I think it'd be probably more beneficial to us to maybe get them out of there for next season. Just as a West Brom sort of bias.
Dean, you're ticking off all the away grounds. So the four potential ones we could have for you to visit next year are Stockport, Leyton Orient, Charlton, and Wycombe. Which one of those do you fancy as a day out?
Anyone bar Wycombe, to be honest. I mean, that's the middle of nowhere, their ground, isn't it? You wouldn't want an overnight in Wycombe. Charlton or Orient would be a bit. No, Stockport's a good night in Manchester, but yeah.
Charlton's a good away day, isn't it? Charlton's good.
Charlton, but we played them quite a lot recently. So Orient, just something different, or Stockport. I'm not bothered. Not Wycombe.
Anyone?
It'll be the Laurie Cunningham derby.
Dan, the biggest change this season has been the introduction of these 12:30 kickoffs and more TV time for the Baggies. I know you get paid 8 to 10 million for the benefits of that, but has it had an impact for you in terms of your enjoyment, your engagement, or what about attendances? How's it? I know it's here to stay, unfortunately, but what's your view on how that's panned out?
It's just really annoying. When you see a lot of games been picked for TV at 12:30 on a Saturday morning, and you just stop messing with the fixtures, stop messing with the times, because I think it just ruins the atmosphere. Because everyone's going to say if people have been on a heavy night out on a Friday, they'll have enough time then to recover for 3:00 on a Saturday. But not if it's at 12:30.
Sounds like you're speaking from personal experience.
Yeah.
Dean, what's your take on that particular?
Yeah, after 12, it's a bit of a nightmare, especially in an away game. Do you stay overnight the Friday? Do you stay overnight the Saturday? You're sort of in between the devil and deep blue sea, really. So, it's I don't like the messing about, but we're stuck with it, I think.
Okay. Right, we're nearly there. One last one then. We're looking for your 3-word summary of the season, if you can. It can be a short phrase or three words combined. Ben, sum up the last 8 months for us.
Probably like the journey we've been on. It was kind of good, average, shit. That's kind of the journey of the season. So
that's the best one I've had.
We went average, and then we just capitulated.
Okay. Spot on.
Right. I'm not going to ask the other two because I think that just sums it up nicely, doesn't it? Yeah. Right. Cheers for that, Ben. Right, and also my final thank you has to go to you three for all your time on a Monday night. It's been hilarious from my point of view to listen to all the ups and downs of this club, and obviously to Aaron as well, who's away on bank holiday. Thank you all so much for all your time and all your takes on West Brom. We'll see you hopefully all again in August. Hope you have a good summer. Anyway, any decently hot for you, Dean? Any climbing mountains? What are you up to?
Yeah. Victoria Falls, Zambia, Botswana, Zimbabwe.
Wow. Okay.
A few weeks time.
He gets everywhere. He gets where water wouldn't.
He has done every corner of this globe. All right. Yeah, enjoy it, mate. Okay. I'm sure Dan, you'll have a nice summer off with your little one. Fingers crossed. And Ben, any plans for your summer?
Similar to Dan, really got a little one as well, so just out and about.
Yeah, lots of parks and play centres. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Right. Well, whatever you're up to, have a great summer. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the last week in July. Have a great summer.